What's going on, everybody? It's TwoWheelTrigger. Just out for a nice little ride coming through, I guess, Elm City, North Carolina. It's somewhat near Rocky Mount Wilson, Sharpsburg area. Just kind of taking a ride and figured today we would talk about training. So specifically, let's talk about training options. So you just left the dealership and you decided, let's buy that brand new bike, right? And you've never taken any training, so you just hop on and you proceed to leave the dealership not in the right gear, but somehow you manage to make the bike operate, and it's just not feeling right? Like you start off in fifth, which is really hard, and then maybe you shift to fourth and then third, and then by the time you get to second, it sounds like the thing wants to explode. If that's ever happened to you, you probably should have taken some training. And I promise you, it's happened to at least one person out there who may be behind the camera. But nonetheless, you got your bike. Maybe you were smart enough to go take a BRC, the Basic Rider course, provided by the MSF or even Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. And, through that class, you got to experience life on a 500cc or less motorcycle. You got to experience doing U-turns in the U-turn box. All the cool things we teach, right? But let's say you've taken your training. You hop on your bike. You've got your endorsement. You've handled insurance. Everything's on the up and up. What's your next move? Well, Trigger, there's a lot of next moves. One of those moves could be simply going to a parking lot. Find a nice, clean parking lot somewhere near your home or apartment or condo, wherever it is you live. Find a nice, clean parking lot that's vacant, at least, at times. And do some drills, Practice tight turn from a stop. Practice your U-turns. If it's a decent parking lot and they're not going to get mad at you, practice your quick stops. Set up some cones and practice weaves. Offset and in line. But get yourself some practice. It's free. And it doesn't have to be going out there and spending 8 hours in a boring parking lot. 5 minutes at the beginning of your ride, 5 minutes at the end of your ride will do wonders. Consistency is what pays off with training. Ever since I started teaching folks how to ride and doing those drills nearly every other weekend, I'll be honest, I think I'm a better rider now because of it. I go out there and, I don't have any anxiety about doing a U-turn now. One of the videos I just did, I had to do a U-turn in a roadway, right? And that's what this is for. These are practical skills. These are the basics that you will use when you're out riding. One of those being a U-turn to the left. Am I going to U-turn to the right? Maybe at some point in my life I'll have to do that, but a U-turn to the left happens most often. So we do the U-turn to the left. Man, it is windy. So let's say you finish the Basic Rider course or Harley-Davidson Riding Academy, and you've done some practice in the parking lot, and it's good, but you're losing interest in it, and you're kind of desiring someone to teach you a little bit more. That was a big ass house. There's the BRC2, which is very similar to the Basic Rider course, but you get to do it on your motorcycle. Now, the BRC2 is not taught in very many places, but it is out there. The MSF is now working on a new program called Rider Skills Lab, and the Rider Skills Lab, you show up on your motorcycle and the instructors will pull drills based on the class's feedback. So if you get a class that says, look, I really suck at U-turns and there's nothing I would rather do than practice U-turns, I don't know that that's ever going to happen, but it could. Oh look, we're back behind this guy. If it happens, the coaches can pull out a BRC, BRC2, ARC, all of the different classes, the drills that will best help those students learn and practice that skill. So that's an option. There is the ARC, the Advanced Rider course, which is required if you happen to be military and you plan to ride onto a military base. Most bases will require it, and they will facilitate the teaching of that class. But regardless, you have to find it, you have to take it. Look at all the cows. Lots of cows. Alright, here's a topic. Oh no, there's grass on the road. Yeah, it's fine, guys. It could be wet, it could be slippery, but if you ride like you have some common sense, you'll be fine. I know that wasn't a lot, but it's the point that matters. Alright, so we talked about the ARC. There's also free options out there. Here in North Carolina, we have a very cool program called Bike Safe NC. It's not often you get to go out and ride with highway patrolmen, local police departments, even, I guess, some sheriff's departments probably in some jurisdictions, on a motorcycle with them following you and not have to worry about getting pulled over. These guys are the top-notch professionals. They are taught over a few weeks how to maneuver in tight turns, how to go up and down stairs, how to crash a bike, you know, whatever you can imagine. They're taught how to do it, and they have to execute it within a certain level of perfection. Not everybody passes that class, only the ones that succeed. So they do this stuff, and then they use that expertise to teach you, the average rider, how to be a safer motorcyclist. That could be anything from, hey, look, when you were coming around that curve, I noticed that you were, covering that front brake. Maybe don't do that. Maybe use a little trailing brake or rear brake. When you're stopping, looks like you're not stopping with your right foot on the brake. Whatever the feedback might be, right? They're going to give it to you. Bike Safe NC is a one-day class. It's held all throughout the state. In areas where the police department does not have motorcycle officers, it's addressed through the highway patrol. Raleigh Police Department, I believe, handles it in their area with the assistance of the highway patrol. I believe Cary PD handles it. Apex, Holly Springs, all over the state. Literally all over the state, from the mountains to the beach. Great program. It's one day. You go out, you do a little bit of classroom, a little bit of riding, a little bit of lunch, a little longer riding, and a little bit longer classroom, and that's it. You get to hang out with cops that they're just people, guys. These guys love riding motorcycles just like you. They just want you to be safe. They're not going to be yelling at you, you went 46 in a 45, right? They're going to be talking to you about how to be a better rider, how to be safer, how to make it home. And that is a phenomenal class that you can take. There's generally always seats available. They will fill up, but it's not like it's impossible to get into a class. So Bike Safe NC. And there are other classes like that. You can also change disciplines. Go take a dirt bike class if you've only ridden Harley baggers your whole life. If you're on a sport bike, go take a BMW Motorrad trophy class. Get on a bike that you stand on, that you change from, pavement onto dirt. If you've ridden dirt, go take a one day, like intro to hot laps type thing, where you're on a track in a tracksuit on a 300, Some places have bikes that you can utilize. Other places, you know, it might be bring your own bike, but I really hope the wind noise is not like drowning me out. I know it's windy and I'm sure you'll hear it. But yeah, those are some options for training. As the summer progresses, as long as classwork allows, I plan to carry the 360 camera, of course the helmet mounted camera, maybe one more, out to a parking lot, set up some cones, and just do some drills, and you can see what that looks like. Maybe if a class is cool with it, maybe I'll run the camera while I'm doing some drills out there. Who knows? Nonetheless, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progress. So go out there, practice, make some progress, and keep the rubber on the road. See you guys.